Hi, welcome to Walthamstow Reservoirs, a fishery complex run by Thames Water and situated here in northeast London. The reservoirs were built in the late 19th century to supply water for the ever-growing population of North London. And in those days it was run by the Metropolitan Water Board. Fishing has taken place here since before the Second World War. During the war, of course, it ceased and started again after the war had ended. In those days you had to write to Rosebery Avenue, their head office, specifying which day you wanted to fish. And as for season tickets, well, there was a 10-year waiting list for them. Nowadays, of course, it's a lot different. All you have to do is to go to the gatehouse, get your day ticket or permit. It's as simple as that. Why don't you settle back in your armchair and I'll take you for a little tour of the complex.
The Lockwood is the largest lake at approximately 74 acres and has an average depth of 34 feet. It was constructed in 1897 and was in fact the last reservoir to be built on the complex, and in 1971 was the first lake to receive a stocking of carp. It probably contains the biggest fish of all the species, with carp of 40 pounds plus being caught and reports of a much larger specimen being seen. A dead bream was found a couple of years ago, which weighed 17 pounds and would have been a new British record. But as the only anglers who fish here are carpies, we may never know what else it contains, so anyone willing to target other species could well be in for a surprise. The Higher Maynard is 38 acres and was built in 1870 and has an average depth of 19 feet. The lake was recently restocked with about 100 more carp and has recently produced its first 40-pound common. The Lower Maynard is 25 acres with an average depth of 10 feet. This lake was built at the same time as the Higher and has a reputation for large bream up to 12 pounds and carp up to 37. At a rough guess, I would say that there are approximately 1530s in the lake. It holds pike to 27 pounds and along with specimen perch and roach and the odd tench of up to 12 pounds, the Lower Maynard is an all-round specimen lake to compare with any in the country. Coppermill Stream, which runs through the complex, has very few small fish left, due to predation by the dreaded cormorant. However, it can now be considered to be a specimen water, which holds double-figure barbel and huge perch. I wouldn't be at all surprised if the next British record perch was caught from this stream, which once held the British gudgeon record. Not a lot of people know that.
Now that you've seen the north side of the complex, let's have a look at the south side.
The number 1 reservoir was built in 1863. It is 19 acres in size with an average depth of 10 feet. The lake record carp is 36 pounds and it contains the usual coarse fish species with tench to 9 pounds, 2-pound roach and bream to specimen size. It contains the highest stocking of carp and is in easy water compared to the rest of the complex, although of course easy is a relative term when applied to carp fishing. The number 2 is 13 acres in size and has an average depth of 10 feet. The lake record carp is a 36-pound common, and like the other lakes, it has coarse fish to specimen size. Number 2 and 3, which are joined, were built at the same time as the number 1.
There are various ways of getting to the fishery. You can go there by bus, which stops right outside the fishery entrance.
Or by tube from Tottenham Hale Station.
By car, or if you're so inclined,